Hello and welcome to Comicstorian Weekly, the weekly show that we talk about comic books that came out this week. It is myself and Andy. Andy, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic, Dan. Thanks for asking.
I knew you were going to wait for me to
I
ask.
was.
All right, we're going to just jump right on in today. First
Hopefully you
up,
don't fall down.
it's the second time this morning you've made that joke. First up, we've got actually a great new miniseries by Tom Taylor, Batman the Detective, #1.
Oh, yeah. I actually did enjoy this, yeah.
So this one is about Batman kind of...
It's in the future.
It's in the future. He's
a little
thinking
older.
about whether or not he's really made a difference.
Yeah.
And then goes to England because people are essentially trying to nullify the difference.
Well, he
that
doesn't
may
realize
have
that
made.
at the beginning.
People are messing with Batman, and they're like even using his look and everything.
And so
like
Batman
that.
goes to England
Meets
and
the
starts...
English Batman,
Yeah,
Knight and Squire.
And Squire, which is always a great name. Overall, I really actually enjoyed this book. Well, because it's Tom Taylor. Tom Taylor is always good.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Kubert's art is really solid.
Yep.
I don't know. Is it supposed to be a 5-issue series?
6 issue.
It's 6 issue.
Six
Okay.
issue.
And he's kind of like an old man Batman. He seems very grumbly, even for Batman.
Yeah. The art for Batman threw me off. I was like, since when did he look like Logan?
A little bit, yeah.
I was
He's
like,
kind of
he's
got
very-
he's very burly, and he's wearing like a wife beater the whole time. Yeah, he did have kind of a Logan look to him.
Right.
Yeah, a little
Now that
bit.
I've said it, you're
I
like,
can't
yeah.
unsee that. Yeah, but overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was
Fantastic.
really
I
good.
would
It was a good
suggest
first
reading
issue.
it.
Yeah.
And this one, if you want to read a Batman story and you don't really want to know anything else or need to know anything else, this is going to be the one for you, because all you really need to know is that Alfred died, and all of that he says in the first couple pages.
Yeah, it doesn't really point out where like anybody else is, like Robin or Oracle or Nightwing or anybody. Yeah,
He just comments that like,
Alfred is gone.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's all he cared about. On to the next one.
It's so sad. Okay, go ahead.
Next up, we've got Batman Urban Legends #2.
Yeah, this is the anthology one.
Yes,
With all
this
the
is
side
the one
characters.
that has Red Hood and Batman, Oracle, The Outsiders, Grifter. And I guess it's just those ones.
And
So first up, we'll talk about the Red Hood and Batman one. I'm actually really enjoying
I thought it was a
this
pretty
one.
solid issue. Yeah,
So
or
it's
a
going
solid
in.
story.
Last time, Red Hood shot this kid's dad because he was a drug dealer.
Yeah.
And this one, he's trying to really cope with the fact of he kind of shot someone who he just considered to be a bad person, but was not like murderous towards him or anything like that. So I think it's good because of the fact that it's a done story that we always get of Red Hood kills someone, Batman disagrees. But I feel like this is the first real time that I've seen it where Red Hood's like truly remorseful.
Like, wait,
and
what
like,
did I? Oh, I can't believe I did that.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
and I really, really like it.
Yeah, I thought it was a solid story. Honestly, I think this is because this is supposed to be what leads into his future state. Mm-hmm. But I think it's an interesting take on kind of a tried and true Red Hood story, Red Hood Batman story. But
yeah, it's really good. I'm really enjoying that one. After that one, we've got the Oracle story going on right now,
which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
It was all right.
And
I
it
mean,
had that
nothing
new costume
crazy.
for it. I think this is the issue that they introduced the new costume.
Her
Oracle
scanning
costume.
through right now to this is
Yeah,
that one because
I was trying to remember.
It's a very here I'll show you since you guys can kind of see.
Yeah.
It's a very different art style from the one before it. It's
Right,
like very
yeah.
light and like haha. I believe it's the same artist that did the Future State Supergirl Kara Zor-El.
Oh, okay.
I think
that
it's
makes
the
sense,
same one,
yeah.
or it's got that same vibe to it.
It is kind of an odd.
It's an odd one for Gotham.
Yeah.
This
well,
is-
even that, I was just talking about her costume, where it's like
Well,
a
that
tracksuit
It's a tracksuit that's
green.
technologically.
It's just yeah.
Powerful.
Like I understand, everybody was kind of like, "Oh, she's finally got an Oracle costume," and then I saw it and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it kind of makes sense because you're like,
It does.
you don't want to
but
stick out. or
yeah.
anything
I
like
mean,
that.
that does make sense. Yeah. I don't know. It's just kind of an odd.
I mean, it was good. I feel like this was mostly to set up her new costume.
Yep.
What she is capable of doing outside of the Watchtower. because that's really all you ever see Oracle at.
Pretty much.
So this one was fun. It was kind of just I feel like it didn't matter.
Yeah.
The story itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it may matter in the future, but as of right now, it just seemed very much like we're just going to show off Oracle, what she looks like now, and the way she's going to handle things. I liked it. I thought it was actually pretty good. Next up, we've got Outsiders. This was the second part. So this one's going in an interesting direction, exploring Tatsu, aka Katana, and her dealing with the mother of her husband, who is trapped in the sword, but he's disappeared because there's a thing going on between her and Jefferson, Black Lightning, and I mean, it had some cool fight scenes.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't as good.
It wasn't my favorite of the ones that were in this issue, but I mean, it wasn't terrible either.
Yeah.
But lastly, we've got Grifter, which I actually really enjoyed. I like this one because they start off connecting Grifter to Lucius Fox and
Wayne. The kind of like the history
of it, as well as kind of explaining how Grifter heals faster, how he's a little bit strong, like
he's not just a normal guy.
Exactly. And also like behind his costume and his mask and stuff, I am surprisingly I'm enjoying this one a lot. I was never expecting to say I'm enjoying Grifter,
right?
But the way that they're using the character and writing him and stuff like that, it honestly feels like if Red Hood never became a Robin, but still kind of went in that direction.
Sure, yeah, I can see that.
It has that kind of vibe to it, and I'm enjoying it. I think the Batman Urban Legends,
it's pretty solid so far, I think. Yeah.
It's really good. I actually really recommend you guys pick it up because it is 69 pages.
You think they did that on purpose? They're like, well, we got 70 pages. Oh no, cut one out.
Cut one. I mean, it's really good, though, because this is one of the DC stories where I want to say it's $7, $8.
Something like that. I think it's...
Maybe even 10.
I think it's $6.99.
But you do get your money's worth. You probably get more than your money's worth because of the fact that you get 4 different stories, and all of them are proper length.
And they're at least decent. Yeah.
Yeah,
none
they're
of them
good
were,
stories.
terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, I enjoyed it.
Same. Next up, we've got The Joker #2. I'm really enjoying this.
This is pretty
Jim
solid.
Gordon book.
Yeah, I'm actually really... I don't even know why they call it The Joker. He's in it for 2 pages.
Because it sells better than Jim Gordon.
I know. That is true, I guess. They could have called it The Commish or something. I don't know. Gordon. Jimmy.
So in this one, we get Gordon talking to Batman.
Yeah, that was the main meat of this particular one. Him talking to Batman and Oracle.
And getting his phone number.
And he wants access to the Batcomputer. I thought the reveal that... It's minor spoiler alert. But the reveal that Gordon actually knows Barbara is Batgirl and has for like a long time was really good.
I'm glad they finally came to that, and he's like, of course I knew it was you. Did you really think I wasn't?
I just like when he was like, oh, I got to throw Batman off and better pull out my ace in the hole. I thought that was really fun. Overall, I think this is a really good series so far. I mean, the reveal of who the client is wasn't that big a twist, I think. But the overall idea of someone hiring Commissioner Gordon to hunt and kill the Joker, I think is a really solid idea.
I agree. And the thing that actually happened in this one that you didn't touch on that I'm really excited for is that every single group in Gotham, villainous groups,
are after the Joker.
They're all after the Joker. So, like, we've got Santa Prisca making a new female Bane, essentially, to send after the Joker. We've got, like, all the different groups of people that are sending people after the Joker because they killed someone that they knew in Arkham.
It was like 3 different groups are going after the Joker or something like that.
I want to say, like 3
something
or 4
like that,
or something. I enjoyed it. The Joker, I originally wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be a Joker story. If it was just going to be overly gruesome and violent.
Well, and I said that when we were talking
about
about it originally when they first announced it, because I was like, I think like a Joker-centric book, like actually starring the Joker, doesn't work, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So the fact that that's what this is what they've turned it into, I think is a solid idea, like a really good idea, and I'm enjoying it.
Oh yeah, I really, really recommend picking up the Joker. Issue number 2 came out this week. Number 1's already out.
Well, yeah, that's how it works, Dan.
Next up,
they don't do 2 and then 1. That wouldn't
make
any sense.
You know what? Sometimes they do. They just number it differently. Anyway,
it's called a prequel, bitch.
It's called a pre-sequel. Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So next up, we've got the next Batman, Second Son, number 7. By the way, I only said that because that's how I transitioned.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Nothing happens.
I'm bored with this book.
I
don't like family drama books to begin with. I don't like family drama books. I don't like family drama TV shows. I get bored as hell. People's personal drama does not interest me in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. And I've kind of lost interest in the Fox family drama. Honestly.
Yeah, this one, I feel like the next Batman, Second Son, it's too much Second Son and not enough Batman.
Batman. Honestly, yeah.
Because we've only seen him really do anything once.
We've seen it in the first issue, and then he like beat up some thugs.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was about it. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I read it and I was like, I kind of done with this. Unless suddenly Batman shows up in the next, he shows up as Batman in the next issue, which would be hilarious. He's like, by the way, I'm Batman. Wait, where did you get all the armor, the suit, the cape, the cowl?
There are caves everywhere.
You know, Batman had like bunkers scattered all over. That shit is easy to break into.
All right.
The password is na. Sorry,
it's like those old cell phones. You just spell out bat.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. That's exactly.
227 or something like that. I don't know.
No way this works. Beep. Welcome, Bruce Wayne. Oh my God, did you know Batman was Bruce Wayne?
Anyway, on to the next one. Have you been reading the Rorschach comic?
I have not. I fell off of that after like 3 issues. That
Rorschach number 7 did come out this week. We had bought it, so I thought maybe you had read it. But
I did not.
Next up, we have Superman number 30. I actually read this one.
What?
I know. It's the start of a new arc, so I was like, you know what? I'll give it a chance. Yeah. It's not Bendis. I wasn't the biggest fan of his Superman run, which if you've watched any of our shows, that's not a surprise to you. I liked this one. It starts off with Clark, John, and Lois just having a day together, and you have a lot of Clark thinking about how nice the day is, how everything's like perfect to him right now. And then he hears a distress call from across the universe or across the galaxy. And,
as you do.
And he brings John along with him. But I liked that they the writer, who's writing this right now?
Why has Ben being so loud?
Philip Johnson, I believe.
Or John Phillipson. Sorry.
I don't know. He references the fact that Clark's sad that he missed
John
child growing up.
Yeah.
And I was glad that they finally referenced that he's not happy with this happened or anything like that.
Well, neither are the fans.
Yeah, no one is. No one's a fan of what they did to John. But so they go to this planet on the other side of the galaxy, and it's just a standard first issue of you meet a group of people, you find out what the bad thing is, and
punch it in the face.
Go, pretty much.
That's what I always do.
I enjoyed it. I'm really liking this. I'm excited to see where it goes because of the way that he's using Superman and John. Superboy, I think he's still going by. I don't know if Bendis changed that at any point, but I think he's still Superboy.
Technically he's supposed to be taking over Superman soon, as in Future State.
Yeah. Super Teen.
Super Guy.
Yeah, it was fun seeing the interactions between the two in this of truly a father and son.
Right, yeah.
But at the same time, the father being like, no, you're old enough, I'll let you take lead kind of thing. So yeah, Superman number 30. If you've been wanting to jump back on and give it a shot, this is the one to do it. It is the start of a new arc, and you don't really need to know anything.
Except that John is like a young adult now.
They even explain that, though.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
Like, it's just like Batman the Detective. Everything you need to know, they
just
explain at the start.
to you. Yeah.
So, on to our last DC comic of the week, Wonder Woman 771.
Didn't read it.
You didn't read this one?
No.
So this is the continuation of Lady Sif, Wonder Woman, as I'm going to always call her. Of her
I was
adventure
reading Wonder Woman. I don't know why I skipped it.
Yeah, I don't know, because this is even like the kind of stuff you like.
Yeah.
Honestly, the entirety of this comic, I'm like, I kind of have an idea of where this is going to go because I read Thor and Marvel.
Sure, yeah.
I do like that they make it clear that they're using the same lore, but they are adjusting it to DC so it's different from
technically
Marvel,
speaking,
it's just
Marvel's lore or Norse lore is actually adjusted too. It's not 100% accurate to actual Norse mythology. So
yeah. This one, it's Wonder Woman traveling with this squirrel, trying to figure out what's going wrong. How can they fix the world tree and stuff like that?
Yeah.
It's worth reading. We get a moment in this one where you can tell that it's not completely separate from the DC universe because she runs into Dr. Psycho.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, well, this is actually where I go because I'm an astral projection right now. And he's in the forge with the dwarves.
That's pretty funny.
And you can tell that she knows some stuff but doesn't know everything because she knows Dr. Psycho, but she doesn't really know, and she knows how she feels about him.
But she doesn't really know how she knows it?
Exactly.
Yeah, I got you. Okay.
And so, there's not too much else that I could say about this one without going into spoilers.
Yeah, right. I got it.
That really aren't needed spoilers. So if you have been enjoying it, or if you've been wanting to see Wonder Woman in Thor lore, this is the comic to read for that.
Thor lore.
All right, on to the Marvel comics of this week. First up, we've got Black Cat number 5. All right, so on to the next. No, so Black Cat number 5. This is the Gilded City Part 1. So everything with Odessa Drake has been handled with. The King in Black stuff has been handled with. This is her with the Silver Fox guy. And they're doing...
It's not a great nickname.
It's not that
great.
Yeah. They are going to steal from the Thieves Guild's vault.
Sure.
And in this one, you kind of get the entire history behind the two of them, their relationship, behind the character of Silver Fox. And then it makes an interesting twist at the end that I'm very curious to see where it goes, because it's one of those ones where the implications are enormous for something happening in such a small name book.
Okay, fair enough.
Like it's big enough that it would definitely affect other characters. Of like the issue where like they stole Robbie Reyes' car and they stole Spider-Man's web slinger. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But yeah, Black Cat number 5. If you've been enjoying it, you'll probably keep enjoying it. If you didn't enjoy it, this is not going to grab you. So next up on the list, we've got Children of the Atom number 2. This is the young X-Men with Cyclops, Last, Cherub.
Really need to
Daycrawler, who goes, no, I don't like that name. Call me the Nighty Night Crawler.
Yeah, they really need to work on their nicknames, their code names.
Yeah. What did you think of this one?
I thought it wasn't a bad issue. This particular teen themed book, I don't think is doing enough to like really separate itself. To me, the biggest question is why haven't they? I don't think they're mutants. Is honestly
I don't either.
I do not think they're mutants, which is I think their issue with going through the
think
portals.
They're not sure if they're mutants.
Maybe.
And so
I could see that.
And it's one of those ones where it's like, do I want to know if I am or not?
Right. Well, I can also see it as they know they're not mutants, because even they're like, whenever like Storm showed up or whatever, they're like, oh, well, we're good. We don't really need to go through the gate right now.
Yeah.
Like, they don't just come out and say, like, by the way, we're not really mutants. But I feel like maybe they know, but they just, because they all feel like outsiders for various reasons. And you have the, I forget the guy who's basically Archangel.
Cherub.
Is that his actual name?
That's his actual name.
So awful. That's
know,
probably why I don't
bad.
remember it.
It's so bad.
He has his whole thing where he feels like he's an outsider until he's a little creepy, even though looking at him, you maybe wouldn't assume he was an outsider. Mm-hmm. So I think they all feel like outsiders, which is why they take their cues from the X-Men, because the mutants are outsiders. That's their whole thing. And the X-Men, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That would probably be the most interesting aspect of the book to me, but their actual like adventures so far are very bland, in my opinion.
Yeah. This story, the way that this issue went about, it feels like Marvel's like, we need another Avengers versus X-Men.
It's,
How can we do that? Because this does start with the Avengers going to them and being like, hey, they shouldn't be doing this. Like, there's the Cradle Law. And they're like, yeah, that's a human law. We're mutants.
Yeah.
Get over it.
So my thought on that interaction was, once again, the mutants are coming off kind of evil. Like, I understand the argument
it's funny
they're putting
you say that,
forth.
because I actually thought the Avengers were coming off.
Well, because the Avengers are coming forward and they're like, hey, listen, just so you guys know, we got this team of mutants, as far as everybody knows at this point.
Yep.
This team of mutants who are going against the Cradle Law. And then the mutants are just like, that's a human law. We don't have to listen to it. And they're like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but they're doing it around human cities. And if the police catch them, it will be bad. We're just trying to warn you guys. Yeah. And they're like, is that a threat? And I was just like,
I mean, to be fair, though, in their defense, the last couple times the Avengers have done this, it turned pretty bad.
But to me, it was sort of like the where they did the Fantastic Four and the Mutants and Doctor Doom.
Okay.
Where everybody's just coming off as assholes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like everybody's taking everything to the extreme, and are you threatening me now? It's like, no, we're not threatening you. We're trying to warn you guys so nobody gets hurt or in trouble.
I'm starting to wonder, actually, if they are not mutants, or if half of them are mutants, or something.
Maybe some of them are. Yeah.
This was to set up the interaction between Avenger, or essentially humans and mutants.
Yeah. That's possible. Yeah.
So, or it's like an entirely new generation of mutants. There's so many different possibilities. Yeah. It's a solid comic. I don't think it's bad.
The interactions are more interesting to me than the actual superhero part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing, when they're actually in their costumes and stuff, and it's just like, first of all, your code names are terrible.
They are.
Yeah, they're awful. Which I get I assume is supposed to be the point, but I don't know. Honestly, these days I don't know. There was a hero called Safe Space, so I couldn't tell you, honestly.
Yeah, and Snowflake.
And Snowflake. Yeah, but they're, like I said, their actual super heroics are very bland to me.
Yeah.
So that's my take on the comic.
All right. Next up, this is one actually we did not even buy. I just saw it going through. Darkhawk, Heart of the Hawk #1 came out.
I don't even know any of those words.
I don't even know anything about it.
I know
but it looked
of
cool.
the hero. I know of the hero Darkhawk. I know nothing about him.
Same.
Yeah.
And that's why when I saw the cover and the title, I was like, how did I miss this before?
Yeah.
But that did come out. If you've ever been interested, I mean, I don't know why you would, but hey, if you are, go you.
Damn, we're judged. Don't even know what's in the comic.
I know, right?
Wow.
All right, next up, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy #13. Did you get a chance to read this one?
No, I haven't been reading Guardians.
All right, so this is the Al Ewing Guardians right now. It was interesting. So it starts off with, it is directly relating to the Skrull-Kree alliance that came out of Empire. And we've got like the Guardians all have essentially Star-Lord jackets. They've got like a uniform now, like amongst them.
That's kind of what they had in the first movie. Didn't they all end up in like the Ravagers gear?
Something like that, yeah. But in this one, they're fighting against the progenitors that are essentially killing everyone on this planet.
Sons of bitches.
And so they do their standard stuff. We get some interactions between Gamora and Peter Quill, because obviously Gamora's in love with Peter Quill. We saw that before Peter left and supposedly died, but then went to the alternate dimension. And like we see in this, that it had a huge impact on Peter as who he is as a person, how he interacts with the other characters and stuff like that. And I really, really liked it. And then the twist at the end of like the new big bad that they are going to be fighting was definitely one that I was not expecting. It was just straight up one of those ones where you would not connect the character to the Guardians of the Galaxy. And so it was a great surprise.
Superman.
What?
Superman.
God, why do you have to spoil it on the show? Anyway. How
crazy would that be, though?
It would have been crazy.
Right?
All right, so that is Guardians of the Galaxy number 13. Next up, we've got Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon number 4. I don't believe you've been reading this one.
No, I haven't been reading these ones.
It's just a continuation of the story. Nothing crazy happens. It's Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and some of the other fighters from the different heavenly cities trying to do the stuff with the dragons. Nothing too crazy really happens except one
stuff with the dragons.
I know, right? The only thing that really catches you off guard in this is a character that you normally would expect to act one way, acts a different way, and they don't seem to be under mind control. So it's one of those ones where it's like, I trust you, so I'm really curious as to why you're doing this.
Fair enough.
But I don't want to say too much because it may spoil it.
Batman.
God damn it. But that's Iron Fist, Heart of the Dragon, number 4. Next up, we've got Iron Man, number 8. You've been not reading this one.
I fell off Iron Man hard after like 2 issues.
Well,
because I know we were both complaining about it, and I was like, well, Dan will keep reading it.
Yeah. No, I did. This one doesn't have Iron Man in it. If you want Iron Man, this is another one. This one actually is entirely focused on Hellcat and Moondragon.
Oh, that's cool.
And trying to go into... They're like explaining Hellcat.
Okay.
Her kind of powers, how they can unlock it, what happened to them previously, why they are the way that they are. It actually wasn't that bad. I did enjoy it.
Well, I mean, I like Hellcat as a character, so.
If you like Hellcat, this would probably be a fun one to read.
Enough.
You probably don't even need to read the rest of it.
Yeah.
If you just want to know about Hellcat, it's just a fun story about her. Like, they reference some of the other characters, but nothing seemed like, oh man,
God,
if you had not read these other comics. So that is Iron Man number 8. Next up, we've got King in Black, Namor number 5.
God, I'm glad the series is done.
Did you read this one?
I did.
Okay.
Just to kind of end it, because I was reading it, but...
I'm glad this series is done too.
I like Namor as a character, and I think if used properly, he's a very interesting character. This book was just kind of boring. Like, it just seemed like they were just trying really hard to explain those... evilish,
the dark tide.
Yeah, and it's like, which you could have done in like an issue,
or like a 3
maybe.
issue
Yeah,
thing.
sure,
But
3. Yeah, it was
just
kind of boring. Honestly,
it dragged on, and it ended after King in Black. And at the end of the day,
it didn't do anything for King in Black. Yeah,
anything.
they literally show up for like a panel during the actual King in Black saga.
So
yeah, I overall
meh. If you like the character, give it a shot. Give it a read. The full arc's done now. If you want to kind of see a Namor when he was a prince before he was a douche.
He's still kind of a douche, but not as big a douche.
As much of a douche. This is more of an innocent douche, not an evil douche.
Yeah. He's another one who every time he shows up is like, are you guys threatening me? Like, no, we're not threatening you. We're trying to explain something to you.
It's the mutant self-defense.
He's the mutant. Oh, that's right. He's a mutant, technically. See, now it makes sense. It's the mutant's problem. It's the mutant's fault.
Yep.
Sounds like a really terrible thing for me to say.
It definitely is. All right. So that
to be fair, some of them are genocidal maniacs. All right, don't.
You know, to be fair though, some of the humans are.
Well,
as
yeah,
well.
exactly. Look, people all around, mutants or not,
a lot of people
are awful.
Yeah.
That's what you just got to remember. I take every person individually, and think they're all awful. So.
All right. So next up, we've got Maestro War and Pax number 4. So this one last time, I can't remember the name of the group.
Something happened.
No, I can't remember the name of the group. I want to say it's Olympus.
Gem and the Holograms.
I'm gonna call them Olympus because it is like those kind of people.
Yeah.
But they had captured and supposedly defeated Maestro by turning him back into Bruce Banner.
Oh.
They have a discussion between Bruce Banner and Maestro in like the Mindscape kind of thing, as you
Does the
usually
green
do.
door shut?
No, thank goodness.
Oh man,
Doc Samson's there though.
interesting.
Yeah, so it was interesting seeing that bit and kind of because I've never seen like the Mindscape really with Bruce and Maestro, and like I never
not
fully
usually.
understood the dynamic, and only in this did I realize that Maestro and Bruce are two separate entities. It's not they are merged and are one kind of thing. So that was interesting. But we also have what's setting up for the next issue. Clearly, Doctor Doom shows up to the city that Maestro had taken over before he had left, and it literally just walks through, and he's like, "I'm ruler now. I'm ruler. Hey, you, ruler."
Let's give me this image and walking through like, hey, how you doing, ruler over here? You're cool.
I am. I'm just gonna show this to you. I'm just gonna show this page to you, where he literally walks in and goes, "I am your new ruler," and people are like, "So what?"
I like reading. What? Your obedience. Obe what?
No, he even says obeisance, obeisance or something.
Yeah.
Obeisance. I don't even know. Anyway,
That's funny.
they're setting up the next one for Doom to be the person that Maestro is going to be going against.
Right. My money's on Doom.
You're totally right. Definitely in a book named Maestro, Doom would be the winner.
Doom would be the one. I mean, he beats the Fantastic Four all the time in Fantastic Four, so.
I mean, you got a point.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I'm actually enjoying it. The Maestro and Pax, the Maestro and Maestro Warren Pax, I've been enjoying both of them. I like Maestro as a character. I think it's interesting having a smart Hulk that's not overly powerful, but is still intellectual and powerful.
Yeah.
I think it's a good mix because he's not just World Breaker Hulk where he's just going to defeat everyone. He does actually have to think sometimes.
He is strongest.
Next up on our list, we have the next comic,
Which is
that came out
this
is
week.
Spider-Man, The Spider's Shadow #1.
Oh, this is cool.
You need to read this comic if you
cool.
have not planned on it.
It's basically Spider-Man symbiote saga as a horror. Or at least that's how it ends.
Yes.
It turns into, Because it kind of just plays up like a normal Spider-Man. At first I was like,
What's the difference?
What's the point of this? Didn't
Yeah.
we just do a symbiote Spider-Man series that's technically still going?
Yeah.
And then at the end, I figured out the point of this. And it's quite good. Yeah.
So if you are unaware of the situation, this is taking place when Peter comes back. He's got the symbiote. They don't know it's a symbiote. He's just got this alien suit.
Yep.
And this is during the time in which he's trying to figure out what to do. He's having the nightmares, and he goes to Reed Richards to figure it out.
And that's when, in the comics, he figured out it was a symbiote and had it removed.
Exactly. But in this one, he decides no. He's going to keep it.
I don't think it's called a what if book, but it is a what if book.
It pretty much is
pretty
a
much
what
is
if,
a what if
I mean,
book.
literally the summary is, what if Peter Parker became Venom?
But it doesn't have the tagline of what
No.
if. So, but it's essentially a what if book.
Yeah, and this is being written by Chip Zdarsky.
Oh, he's on Daredevil right now. He's good.
Yeah,
Pretty good writer.
Fantastic. Did you read Daredevil? Are you reading Daredevil?
I've read some of the past ones.
Okay.
I'm not current on it.
I was like,
No.
have I been skipping it?
No. I'm not current on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, Spider-Man, The Spider's Shadow, don't really need to say too much. Just buy it. Like, I just really enjoyed it.
We gotta get angry about it.
Yeah.
Buy it. Now. Don't turn off the show though.
Not yet.
But
After the show.
Go to the
Listen,
store.
finish the video or audio.
Yeah. Or take it on your phone and
Or,
just
you know,
drive.
You know what, listen.
But don't focus on
don't
the
watch
thing.
it
Just,
while trying. Okay, anyway.
All right.
Next up, we have Thor #14.
Oh, this is a good one.
So good.
This is
So
a
this
good
was
one.
the conclusion
Sucks to be Donald
the,
Blake,
to the Donald Blake stuff.
I think it's called The Prey was the actual
Yes, The Prey.
arc.
Oh,
it's a good ending.
God.
It sucks to be Donald
You don't really
Blake.
need to say that much, but yes, it
It was
does.
a good ending, yeah.
I loved the way it ended. I loved the way that Thor acts.
Yes.
Because it's very like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
Because usually, like lately, I feel like Thor he started going in too much of almost a comedic direction.
Yeah, kind
And
of.
I feel like since Thor Ragnarok, that kind of was the direction they went.
In the like Avengers book, he definitely plays off that way as more of that like goofy cracking jokes things. But I think in Donny Cates' run and in Jason Aaron's actual Thor books, which is weird because Jason Aaron was also writing Avengers. But in Jason Aaron's actual Thor books, he was very serious, and then in Donny Cates, he was very serious. But in the Avengers, he was definitely more of the jokey kind of Thor.
But my God, you need to read this.
It has a very Norse ending.
It does.
It has a very Norse ending.
It definitely did multiple things where I was like, oh, they're gonna do. Oh no.
Yeah, I actually didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah.
The actual
there were a couple ones where I was like,
oh damn.
Like, did he really just do that? Like, because you go through and you're like, oh, it's Marvel. Okay,
yeah.
Like,
so
okay,
they're gonna redeem him or something.
Ooh.
Oh, we're gonna have he's gonna come back as Thunderstrike or some stuff since he killed Thunderstrike.
Oh yeah. But yeah, this one, it's worth reading.
Yeah.
It is very, very worth reading. Donny Cates has done a fantastic job with
I think
Thor.
he's done a really good job with Thor so far. Yeah.
I think. Honestly, it might be my favorite Thor run.
No, mine would still be the God Butcher run by Jason Aaron.
The God Butcher was good. I feel like this one might be better for me because it's one that I actually read as it happened.
That's possible. Yeah, sure, I could see that.
But fantastic.
Yeah.
I highly recommend picking it up.
It was very good.
And then the last comic of the week is Wolverine number 11.
Wolverine hunts vampires.
Yeah, this is just continuing the story of Wolverine, why
Hunting
the vampires are
vampires.
looking for his blood.
Yep.
I did like, there was one thing that actually happened in this that finally made it make sense why, or pseudo makes sense why they're using vampires and all of that, is Dracula even says, the mutants have Krakoa and have risen up as this new nation.
Oh, right.
Why can't we
Yeah,
do the
he wants
same,
to rise up
essentially?
with the vampires. Yeah.
And so when he said that, I was like, okay, now I feel like we finally have a reason that vampires are here and doing something, because it makes sense. Obviously, they're not just going to disappear and like stuff like that. So it was.
To be fair,
it was
most of the
interesting,
vampires are more evil than most of the mutants.
Debatable.
Well, it depends on the mutant, I suppose. If you take every individual mutant and vampire and look at them as an individual person.
That's fair. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing too crazy.
No, but if you've been enjoying the series, I would definitely keep reading. It was a good issue. It was solid.
It is. If you're looking for more of just a Wolverine like fighting kind of thing,
Not the
you're
best issue,
probably going to prefer the Wolverine Black, White, and Blood. That one's more of an anthology of him just kind of fighting people.
Yeah.
This one actually has a plot behind him, vampires, and because it has been a little while since the last one came out, I think.
It seems like there was like break or something.
Yeah, there must have been.
Well, because I
quite
think
a
we were
break.
doing X of Swords. I think is what it was.
I think that is what it was. The last one came out in February.
Yeah, so we had a little bit of a break.
But yeah, I mean, it was pretty good. I'm enjoying it.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's a solid Wolverine story.
It is a solid one, but I will say, if I was tight on a budget, I wouldn't pick this one up.
Sure, yeah,
I would definitely be picking up Spider's Shadow and Thor over
Yeah,
this one.
yeah, I can see that.
But that brings us to the conclusion of today's episode of Comicstorian Weekly. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. If you want to support us, we film this live every Thursday at twitch.tv/Comicstorian at roughly 2 p.m. Eastern. We then go into the Comics Experiment and Superhero D&D. You can also support us by going to our Patreon at patreon.com/Comicstorian, where you can get access to this, other great content, and help vote on things that go on the channel.
By throwing you off
Tiers. If you want to find more of Andy, he's for I Am the Andy on Instagram. If you want to find more of me, I am Silu91 on Twitch. Thank you guys so much, and we will catch you next time.
Bye.